I forgot to turn on the music. Sorry. It's recording.
All right, sure. Yeah, we don't need the music.
Yeah, I can hear fine. What's your laptop? I think the Macs have good mics now.
Yeah, this is one of the new ones, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
We bought
Those M chips already?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, we'll see if the
is it the Pro or the Air? Again,
it's an Air.
It's no, it's a Pro.
It's a Pro?
Oh, it's Pro.
No, I know, not an Air.
Okay.
An Air.
Yeah.
Wouldn't go for an Air. Adam's gonna be like, "What? I'm a
Did
Pro."
not want the Air.
I'm a Pro.
No, Pro. But yeah, we'll see if the microphone quality is good. Then it's easier than holding a microphone. But yeah, we got to figure out that.
Yeah, because
it must be a faulty cord or something.
Yeah, because previously you were just using the laptop microphone, right? And then it sounds fine. And apparently the Macs have good mics.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, and good cameras too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, mine I just discovered that the laptop is blocking the camera. So that's why it's even though I have it plugged, it seems like the cord is not working because it's like not lighting up. And so it's actually being blocked by the privacy settings. It's annoying because I didn't read that there's like a one line in there when you go to the in the settings where it says like because the name of the software is Camera Hub and it says there like Camera Hub was blocked, blah blah allow. And I didn't really read that. Because last time I just like plug it in and it works, and then suddenly when you restart the computer and then starts stopping it. I know.
We have the same thing with our pod track. We didn't see it.
Yeah, it's not working. So that's there's a good thing about security because it helps you secure your computer, but bad thing is it also keeps you from using it.
Yeah, friendly
security.
Fire.
Yeah, friendly fire. I don't know. Yeah. We do the same way as we always do, but when that doesn't work, you're kind of like, I don't know. If Isaac can't figure it out, then it's probably impossible.
It's possible.
It wasn't.
If Isaac can figure it out.
So we restarted. We adjusted everything. It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not so
like,
showing.
Let's just give up with the microphone.
Yeah, guys was
but
like,
it sounds. It actually sounds good. So what do you hear from your? You're only hearing me, right? From the headphones, you're not hearing yourselves.
Yeah, it was the same.
And that's nothing new. Yeah, we never have been able to hear ourselves.
Mm-hmm. So, but it's fine because when you look at the bar in here at the side, it's the levels. It's still showing it's loud enough, so it should be recording just fine.
We adjusted the volume.
Yeah, we turned the volume up on that.
Yeah, I think it's fine because you're not really that close to. Because I've seen reviews of the MacBook before where they say like, oh, the microphone is studio quality, but in order to have it like really close to studio quality, you have to be like this close to your mic.
Oh yeah, should we get closer?
No, it's just funny how because they advertise it as I use my MacBook Pro as a voiceover for my videos, and then the video plays, the voiceover sounds it sounds really good. Like it sounded like a good microphone. But then there's and then after the few scenes later, he's gonna show you how he recorded it, and then says it should be like a room should be very silent, and then in order to get that like that sound, you have to be like he's pointing out where the microphone is, and you have to be really close, and then like going okay. I guess it could sound good, but I mean not the most ideal situation to use it, and I guess it's for voiceovers and stuff. But for Mac, I think what they had in mind is for, like this one, like remote calls, Zoom meetings is going to sound, should I say, like a bit better than the other microphones. Because I think they'll have like, I don't know how many mics they actually have. I think there's like 2 in there and then like recording the same time. Like, I don't know. I didn't really look it up.
Let me see. Let me zoom in.
Let's try it. Like
I can't see anything. It's
funny,
but it's been a good computer. So
I mean, if it's pretty new, Macs are always like.
Claus is anti-Mac. She does not like the Mac computer.
Oh, really? More of a Windows.
I don't use it on a daily basis. I'm like those people who resist change.
I mean, you were just saying I hate this Mac.
the
Just Mac in general, because
Well,
it's always
bec-
like different than
because the
way you
shortcuts are
run.
different.
yeah,
Not
'cause
really. Yeah,
you're
the shortcuts.
I'm using Windows every day. I don't use a lot of
Mhm.
MacBook on my personal time.
And I never embraced the Mac shortcuts, so I honestly have no idea how to like efficiently use
Yeah.
this computer. I just
Is
like,
We just got robbed
yeah,
with
I just paid a bunch of money to.
oh, it's
Not-
expensive.
not
Not
It's
knowing.
very.
not
It's
knowing
very, especially the pros. Pros. Yeah, it's like couple. I think it's $100 or $200 like more than the Airs
Yeah,
and
it's like
stuff.
a it's like a golf cart. I don't know. I'm trying to think of it. What would be
What
an
do you
equal
mean?
Yeah.
A golf cart costs?
golf cart? How much does a golf cart cost?
It depends. Do you want it brand new or
Like like a used,
or,
like a crappy
or like
golf
from
cart.
an auction?
Like a crappy golf cart. It's like the same price as it.
Because in
Old
here,
golf
when I
cart.
was looking up the price, I
500?
compare to like because I actually did buy a new. That's why I did buy also a new a Mac and a Pro because
Oh,
my
the M.
yeah, because the M, because it's when I was editing this videos, I'm using my Windows. The Windows actually an i7. It's quite fast, and but that machine is, I think I got it last 2018. So I was thinking like maybe I should buy a new one. So I'm looking up the Max. That's why I'm looking the Air, and then they say the M1s is a leap, like a very big leap over the Intel, like Intel processors, those i3, 5,
Mhm.
and 7. So when I got this and then tried editing, like our podcast, it's actually way faster. Like I can just, I think if you notice, like I can just like make clips. I can make clips for like about an hour now. Like just find a good one and like. Guess what I do when I make like our shorts, our clips, I just cut like a certain part of it. And if you notice, it changes to like my face, Adam's face,
Yeah.
Liza's face. I actually like render like each of our own like version of the clip where our face is like the highlight. And then after I render all those three, I just switch the like it's like I'm doing like a multiple camera stuff where I switch to Gliza, switch to Adam who depends who's talking.
Oh, that's really cool.
I'm doing that manually. And then ever since I got this, like it actually it's so much faster to do, like because the render part. I know, I think Adam, you've tried like like rendering videos, right? It's the one that takes a lot of time. Like you have to wait for it to like get exported or those stuff, and then this Mac is like way faster than the older one, so it's
Yeah.
much easier to use.
You did a great job with those reels.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, the last few that have come out are just really good. Like not only like the content itself, but the way that they're
And-
edited is really professional. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
And I do it after work too. Like I think I can just like finish one in an hour. That's what makes it makes my life easier. But the price is I'm comparing it to like in here like I was talking to Isa like, oh, I got a Mac, like like it's like I got a new motorcycle. It's not even the cheap motorcycles here. Like it's actually like
oh yeah,
the good ones. That's the price.
that's a good
So,
comparison.
that's like you can
Like a
I could
Filipino
commute.
motorcycle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could commute to work
Yeah.
every day with this with the for the price I paid for.
Yeah.
And it's so valuable. You just sits in your house and you just hope to God nothing happens to it or someone steps on it.
Oh yeah, but now I try to because when we record, like we usually record at Saturday in here, right? And then at lunch I have lunch with my mother or maybe with Isa. So right now it's since it's a laptop, I bring it with me so I can start editing like outside because
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
because
That's
before I
multiple.
just I do it at home. So yeah, it just makes it more convenient.
Yeah,
I know,
it's cool
and
to
I
do it in
want
a
to
coffee
use it
shop.
more because it's expensive. I just want to keep on using
You
it.
gotta make
Yeah.
use of it.
Yeah. You have to. How much did you compute the daily? Cost.
For the day, no, I know the month. I know the monthly though, but I know the daily. I didn't really. Yeah, so that's why it's always on my mind. I have to. What can I use this for? I need to like.
Did you buy it in cash?
No, for this one, no, because it's way better for me not to. Like I want to have like cash and still have cash in my
Yeah,
to
cash
my
flow.
bank account.
Cash flow.
Yeah, I don't want to like.
But there's a general balance between like being smart with your money and saving it, which obviously is very good. But there's also like the side of reality where like you work hard to be able to buy things that you want. And if you don't appreciate the fruits of your labor now, then you never will. You know, if you're always putting off the gratification of why you work to have money so that you can buy things. I'm saying you got to balance that out. You can't have too much of either. But you have to remind yourself, like, this is why we work, to have nice things.
Are you reminding yourself?
That's
you know that I save money. You're the spender.
That's exactly.
But you forced me to save.
Yeah, I forced her to save. Because but I have to remind myself, like, no, we got to spend money. We got to go on vacations.
Forced me to pay off the car.
Pay off the car, yeah. Like, so there's a balance. Maybe that's why we're a good team. But you need that.
If I haven't met you, I would have.
You can't be too much YOLO.
Totally different.
Yeah, you're like.
I have savings.
Yeah.
You really have savings. Is that enough?
But yeah, so I think treat yourself sometimes.
Yeah,
I'm trying to say
that sounds like a person who wants to buy something, and that's how you justify. Like, you have to treat yourself. No.
I know that's why I framed it first by saying it's important to save. But there's some people that save and save and save, and then they die, and you have a great big bank account to give to someone else, and you never even went out to eat or had some good sushi or went to a concert, like. Paid for something that was like silly, like paid for coffee every day. I drink coffee every day. I go into the office and I buy it. I know it's stupid. I know I could save money, but you know what? I work and I like my coffee. My coffee's like, I go to Starbucks and that's like my thing. Yeah. It's more than just the cup. It's the experience. Going there and being
it's the
there
routine of like, hey, and then the barista. His name's Joe. Hi, Joe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Joe.
Coffee, Mr. Adam. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I say an inappropriate joke, and then I move on. But that's so. It's important to make
saving in the Philippines is kind of harder than being in a.
It is
probably because it's cash.
So we don't have 401k. I mean, you can't trust our retirement.
yeah. For retirement, you have to. You have to work on it on your own, or like prepare for it on your own. You have to. Like some people like buy their own, it's still called insurance, right? Those like those benefits. They buy extra. Some people invest it in their own stock market. Some people choose to like save
funds.
Yeah, because the pensions, the government pension is not really that like when you retire, you do have like a monthly that comes in your bank account, but that amount is not really that significant, especially if you're retirement age. For sure you have like medication already, like not really medication where you treating sickness, but, so maintenance for like blood pressure and all, or maybe some minor, it's not that like it's not that big, so you have to like have a different savings account or other stuff you invested in so that
other
you can enjoy it.
No, you just have kids, and then your kids pay for your retirement.
That's always that's the
that's one route.
Filipino plan.
Yeah,
the what? I'm sorry.
Send you money.
Oh,
you just have kids. And your kids
it's we're gonna go to was it the gymnast again?
Oh yeah,
because that's the issue with parents and all.
That's the retirement plan.
I hate to say it, but yeah, that was like. I know some people that they have that mindset. Even probably my mom. Sorry.
So why you have to make it personal? There's nothing wrong with that, honestly.
It's hard because it gets weird because it's different per. I wish it is different per family, because I know someone. I wouldn't say the name because we're famous now, guys. If you know, I don't know if Glyza told you.
Please cut it out, my mom.
No. Because there's actually like stories where, like, even when they start, like friends my age, when they start like working, like, let's say their parents like start like, how much can you give back to, so it's different per family. Like I'm because my mom doesn't do that, but I also get why, I have understand how why parents, some of the parents like do that, so it's part of the culture. And then the thing I don't like is, I don't know, because this is just like someone just told me, like her parents said, like, because when you were in college, we were like borrowing money from a lot of people, so I mean, at least right now you can help with paying those up. So yeah, it's a very hard situation right there. You don't know what's right or wrong with those
Yeah.
stuff. It actually can trigger, like, if you post something about that in Facebook, you actually, like, a lot of people is gonna call. And I see like a post like, ever since that Carlos Yulo, like that's the issue. Like, there's his parents. There's a lot of like perspectives going on, and I see people I know personally like posting in Facebook like, your parents is blah blah blah. Not they didn't bring you in this world just so they can, like, you can provide for them. There's their it's their responsibility. Blah blah blah. Yeah, so
It's
I don't really
let's
like
just
that.
say it's a non-American way. It's like your parents are not expecting you to
Well,
like,
I mean, not necessarily,
like,
but
financially support them. I mean,
but
is that an American way of thinking that you're
I don't know.
expected to, when you have a great, good,
No, usually when
you're
you have
financially stable, give out to your parents.
yeah, usually like, but it's not like it's not like the way that you guys do it, but like usually of the children, there's one child that takes care of the parents when they get
The
older,
parents.
or like pays for them to be in like a retirement home. But if everything works out perfect, the goal would be, the ultimate ideal scenario is your parents make enough money to retire, never needing money from their kids, and their kids do the same thing. And then every generation just puts enough money away to never have to ask.
But there are people out there in the Philippines,
For people that don't, then yeah, you're gonna need some help from your kids, and I think
but there are kids in the Philippines, or like adult kids. I say kids, like right when they started working, they right away support their parents.
But their parents did put a lot of money into their lives.
Yeah, but that would mean it will also be hard for them to make their own family, because
you have to like
working.
You have to be like double.
If the parents aren't working at all and they're just like sitting on the couch, like, oh, time for me to collect my cash. That's not good. But I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I can understand like if you're if you went abroad or like go like in the US or somewhere else.
Yeah, if you're making,
or you're making good money,
then you don't mind it. But if you're barely getting by and you're having to pay for your parents too,
when you're in the Philippines and you're earning Philippine peso.
It always goes back to like the people, the situations that have a problem with that. I think, be careful the way I say this. People that have a problem with that setup, more often than not, I would bet, probably have a problem with their relationship in general. Like something went wrong one way or another. Like the parents aren't doing the best they could. The kids aren't doing the best they could.
Yeah.
It's not a perfect relationship that ends in a money fight. It's other things that add to like someone dropped the ball. And maybe it's the parents, maybe it's the kids. Like, something's not because otherwise the kids would be motivated to pay for them.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
It really depends. Like I have no problem with it personally.
Yeah, me too. Like my parents doesn't really ask, and then I think it's one of their goals too, because their experience before is your parents support you, but it was like, imagine like in the Philippines, like way years before, is even like it's not really, it's harder to find a job like where you're earning enough. And then, so let's say my father he was able to like find a job like abroad, and then it wasn't, there were no programmers back then. I think the big thing before was either you're in construction or you're in like an oil refinery, because that's that word.
Or you're a nurse.
Or you're a nurse, or that job. So what would happen is, if you, or even I think it was even before he was working abroad, he was just have he had a job, and then so it's not just you're providing for your family. So it's he's not let's say he's not married then, but he's also like his parents, or like my grandparents would ask him like, can you what they call this, pay for this your sister's tuition or your uncle's your so that's very common, but because you're like the older ones, you finish school earlier, so you're like it's not really your task, but your parents gonna ask you because they don't his parents are not earning enough to support like the other his siblings for maybe college, so he's like paying for the tuition for this person also, and then so that happened. And I think for my mother's side also, that's the common setup too, where the older sibling like pays for like school for this one, and then afterwards if there's like still a younger sibling that so you're since you're already graduate now and then have your own job, he or she's also gonna pay for that. So it's common before, and I think for my generation, for me, my mom did say like she really doesn't want that for us, so that's why they work hard, so just so we don't have to, like my brother don't have to like have to work just for me to for my allowance or for my, so it's just them providing, and then because but for them that's their goal. Like I think my dad did say that before, like that's their goal. They don't want to be be in have like in their old age and then too much like very dependent to their on their kids, those stuff.
Yeah.
And then in return, like for me, so that's why when I give to my parents, I don't really think that I'm doing this because I have to. I'm doing this because like I want to like give. We have monthly, so it's some more, but it's not like I said, it's not everyone's not like it's different for family because you don't really know the history, like what happened to them before. Because I could see also some people viewing it this way. Oh, that's what we've been doing for generations now, so that's what we're gonna do, until until like the next generation. Now, this person's always been providing. So I could also see it that way, but I know it's preference. Maybe just um yeah, it's just
I
so
did that to
happens
my
like
siblings though.
Yeah,
I did pay for my siblings tuition when I started working. That's why it was so hard to save in the Philippines, because when I started working, my two of my siblings were still during college.
I think it works out if the base of your relationship with your family is healthy. As long as you have a healthy relationship, then the money aspect kind of works out, because in exchange for the money, what you should get back is gratefulness rather than entitlement. As long as they're grateful and not entitled to what they're getting, then that's how things fall apart. But like, I don't have any problem giving money to anybody who asks, because they're in exchange, they're grateful, and I'm honored to be in a position to do it.
Yeah, I feel
as
like
long as that's working, then it's fine.
I feel like there's some deeper issue.
Yeah, that's
there's a deeper issue there, and money is always the number one like blow to that. Like it's just
should a catalyst. That's a good
The
word.
minute
Right?
they're hooked to it, and then they think, oh no, this is my money.
Multiplier.
I deserve to have this money given to me. When technically you don't have to. Then it's like, okay, well, no, don't treat it that way. But that comes back to a healthy relationship with your family and your friends. If they respect you and they're grateful, then the details kind of work itself out, because you're not going to take advantage of somebody. Because you respect them.
Yeah.
The same as like, I'm not going to hold it against somebody for asking for money or even needing money. Like, I don't know if I'm doing a good job saying what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Like it's not an issue. And I understand the cultural difference too. Like, it is what it is. You gotta, being with you and knowing the Filipino side of things, it's I think it's good to understand other cultures and the way things do. And then now Glaza and I can mix some of the American stuff that's good, and some of the Filipino stuff that's good, and get rid of some of the bad stuff. There's plenty of bad things in American culture, like kicking your kids out and not letting them stay at home, that we don't agree
You're 18.
with.
You're
Yeah,
18.
like we never kick our kids out.
You're
But
18.
then, like, the give a money thing, that's another whole other topic.
Yeah.
It's kind of a deep topic.
Even the financial aspect to American versus the Filipino way of doing things, American way is still very nuclear. Yeah. And in the Philippines, it's money's also kind of extended. Like, you're helping your family, but you're also expected to like help your other relatives.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
you know,
America's a little bit more like it's kind of taboo to ask for money.
Got hospitalized. You know, you have to give money, or like somebody died, or
also the healthcare prices in here in America is like really expensive to do anything, like surgery or something. You could owe tons of money.
Yeah. No, in here actually, it's also like if you like base it to the income, also it's also like really expensive in here.
All right.
Like the hospitals are really.
If you don't have insurance.
Yeah.
If you don't have insurance.
Speaking of tough moments,
I was gonna,
people are in.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's such a hurricane if you're in that mess, right? That money.
It's a whirlwind. Yeah.
I was thinking, like, should I say this or like, because everyone's so serious.
Too soon.
I don't know. It's just some serious topics. And, yeah, but there's man, this hurricane, and partly why we couldn't do the podcast yesterday. The power on and off. It was off all yesterday morning, which luckily all we had was a few branches fall in our yard that I already cleaned up for the most part. Just the backyard's left. But like, there's places in North Carolina where guys that just visited with their friends, it's like completely gone. Like,
the houses were like
they like
there's like a town that doesn't exist anymore.
Oh wow, like everything, including the walls.
Yeah,
like walls of houses.
Yeah,
because
it's just the wind,
the flooding.
Because I think it's the flash flood
landslides.
And landslides.
Oh, okay.
In combination.
I can see. Yeah,
and the river.
Yeah, and the rain too, because of the water levels.
So they should have evacuated like earlier, right? They should have. They were not there when the flooding happened,
or did
I think most people evacuated, but I can't say for sure. I don't even know if they've counted how many people have passed away. It's a
an initial count.
There's places that the Asheville has no roads that can get to the city. The only way to get into the city is by air. Yeah. And there's a water shortage for everyone that's stuck in Asheville, which is a big city in North Carolina. I'm not sure if you're familiar with.
Yeah, I'm familiar. I've heard it.
Yeah,
I've heard of that. Like
it's a big problem, and like so the storm may be over, but
it's always that the afterwards the aftermath is always like the harder because it takes a long time to like fix everything.
I think it's because like there's a lot of dams there. There's a lot of rivers.
Oh, and then they
gorge that.
So
it's like in a valley. There, like Asheville is in a valley.
Yeah, and it's surrounded by mountains. You would think,
yeah, it's just.
No,
but I think that's the amount of rain.
When did you say the last time a hurricane hit? It was like 1916.
Yeah,
so it just never happened.
It broke the record for the level water.
Yeah, volume of water.
So it was like 23 feet, and this hurricane was 25 feet, and it was like the 23 feet happened in like 1916.
Yeah. And, so the people in the mountains, I don't blame them for being for doubting the severity, because no one that they even know that's ever been alive has seen this before.
Yeah, it's like a couple of generations before. It's as long as they were. Well, I don't think they left their houses, right? The scary thing is always like when it's happening and then you're still in your house. Because if it's flash flood, I don't think you're gonna be able to. You can't really outrun it. The only chance you get is you just hope your house stays standing after it.
The worst place to be if your house floods is like okay, so what they said, this is on the internet, I hope it's true. Never go into your attic if there's a flood.
Why would you go?
You should go on top of your
Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
Or have like window, like always be able to get out, because if you go into your attic, you can't get out. If the house gets swept away, you'll drown.
Yeah.
Some people think like, oh, I'll go in the attic away from the water. But you should get on top of your house.
Yeah, you should go there.
And go to the
Yeah, because that's your last
Or
chance,
the
and then
house
you just
roof.
wait for there's a helicopter that comes.
Yeah.
Or
My
you-
brother lives in Houston. Their house flooded, and they had to get a canoe out of their house to get to
I don't-
higher land
Yeah.
a couple years ago, 2018. So these disasters are happening. You know, it seems like for whatever reason, they're getting bad, man.
Yeah. I don't know how bad the Tallahassee area is.
It's almost like it blew past Tallahassee.
I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't heard anything from Ryan yet.
They were all offline Thursday.
Yeah, is Ryan okay?
I think so. One of our team members was online Friday. So
Hey, if you're a listener from Tallahassee, comment down below your status. What's going on?
Yeah, what's going on?
I mean, nobody talked about Tallahassee or Florida more than
Sound like a joke.
Asheville.
Sorry.
What?
It sounded like a joke. I was partly serious. I was trying to sound like a YouTuber. But honestly, do comment if something's going on.
Yeah.
Actually, don't
Yeah.
comment here. You should probably not be listening to podcasts if you're in trouble. But
What?
sorry,
Yeah.
I just didn't want that to sound insensitive.
You're over explaining.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah, you can just like
It's like, what
you
is
can
this
just, like,
guy
go
saying?
past it. Yeah, I don't know, because I haven't heard anything from Ryan yet. But I communicated to her through like the work, Teams. So I don't know. Maybe it's better to just check on him and Messenger.
I haven't heard anything from anyone there that said that it was bad.
I think Tampa got it bad, but it was just those mountains. Maybe it
think
came
it's
and then it
just
just like
really
stopped.
Yeah, I think it stayed longer maybe because when you're
Our trees were like,
I think it's just like the tormenting rain, it's just too much.
And side note too, I wanted to make sure I mentioned, when you lose power, you forget how much you really use technology,
Mhm.
like so much.
True.
It's like we can't watch TV, we can't watch Netflix, we don't have Wi-Fi. Every
you
time I
can't
walk
charge
into a
your
room, I
phones.
flip the light
Right.
switch and be like, "Oh, what the?"
And then we have kids.
Yeah, we have two
Yeah.
babies.
We're gonna
And-
do.
Yeah.
We had to watch them for like 4 hours, and it was so hard. It was like the hardest it's ever been.
It's like
Yes.
let's just watch outside.
It's
Watch out the window.
Yeah.
See what happens.
electricity and water. Those are like the big things. Yeah, that
Oh my god. Yeah, I
you
think
you,
that would-
you realize like
Oh.
you're so dependent on it, like when it's off, like even like after the the typhoons in here, there was a big one, like I think 2 years ago, and that was the biggest one in Cebu, I think, in our lifetime. So
Is it
because
really?
it actually hit it did hit the entire city. It affected everything, so there was no power for like days,
Really?
and
What's the
for
name
some
of it?
areas
How long did you
That
go?
That was the one when I tried to buy like a generator. For my mom.
generator. Yeah.
So how?
This was
and
December.
it had to go by boat from Manila
2021
or something.
No,
How
no,
long
no.
would-
or 2020.
No, it's not the flood. It's just the winds were so great that it destroyed like a lot of like power lines. I don't know, other stuff.
And if you've seen a
Roofs.
Filipino power line, it is a jumbled mess
Mhm.
of cords, like 800 different cords coming
Yeah.
together. Like it's so easy. To
Yeah,
fuck that up.
I think it's so expensive to fix those because the only ones that are good are those like private, like Ayala, and then when they make like new, you say IT zones, you're not gonna see those like wires anymore. But for other places, since it's still gonna be there, so that's one thing. Because you're actually lucky if you live near a hospital, because that's where there's a priority, like per hospital, or I forgot the other places. So that's the priorities for them to put the powers back on. So those are the places where it, yeah. So
So we're looking
and then
at here.
and then
It's called spaghetti lines.
yeah, and then actually I don't know how much of it. Maybe like half of it are not really live. They
Mhm.
just like leave it in there, even though if it's not used anymore. Like no one's
Some of
gonna
it
clean those up.
are telephone lines. Too.
Dude, and then being in the Philippines without power and it's so hot, you know, and you can't plug your fan in. How long were you without power? Did you just say? How long was it?
Oh well, we were the lucky ones where we're not in Cebu that time. But
Oh, really?
I think it took a month for like some places.
A month?
A month, and then for us in here, because I live in a condo, so I forgot how many weeks they have a generator, but it's just scheduled. But it's just a few. I think it's almost a month too. Yeah,
dude,
it was a month.
I cannot even.
It was a
fathom.
month.
So you couldn't go like log into work.
No, yeah. Actually, our company. I want to say the name of our company because we're famous now. Yeah, but our company is actually pretty good at like doing those. Because we have processes to account for people and then find ways. I've even heard some people they needed to fly to Manila just so they can work, and then they support us in our check into a hotel because most hotels have generators. So check into a hotel. Company's gonna pay for it just so you can continue, especially if you're critical stuff. So they're pretty good at that. And then they provide us like water, canned goods, rice. You just go to the office and they provide it to you. Yeah, they're actually pretty good at that. They have their own. Yeah, it's
How we go from 5 hours without power? I felt like I was like.
Oh, you should go to the Philippines during summer because there's a rotational.
Yeah, they're scheduled like, oh, we're gonna have no power for 8 hours. Wink, wink. 8 hours. Wink, wink.
Like a scheduled rolling blackout.
Yeah.
For like hours at a time,
Wow.
That's why we have malls because that time you go to the mall and then just like stay there all day and then go home in the evening. It's not that hot anymore, and then wait for the power to come back.
What the heck, man? We should
even water. My mom didn't have water for like to like almost a month. They didn't have water.
Do we really want to go to the Philippines, babe?
No, so that's why you can. You have a generator or you have a solar panel and then like have battery on it and then like have a water tank just to be able to support for you for like how many days.
All right, so we got to be like doomsday preppers when we go to the Philippines.
Yeah, doomsday, but I think it's just gonna last a week for you.
If it's a hurricane or typhoon, it's gonna be blown over.
I know.
That's the thing too with
supplies.
Yeah. But some houses, their solar panels are still there. I don't know why. Maybe it's also a bit of luck, right? Because it depends on where your house is located, especially if you live in those subdivisions. Because the air, it depends with how the wind passes. They say it's good if you're like, those like Y in the road. You shouldn't be at the house at the at the intersection of that Y road because the wind's gonna go there. It should at least. I don't know if you can imagine what I'm saying. Like if
like
there's
a flat iron building.
That. But usually, if you in subdivisions, it's not a flat iron house, right? It's just a house in there.
It's at the corner.
So it's good if you're like, I think if you're like two houses next to it, because it's like more like a safe spot because the wind is just gonna pass through whichever the wind passes because there's always a house that's gonna take all the wind. And you see in Odette before there's like houses where, but it's sad because the roof gets like blown off, the windows get shattered, and then it's so those certain place there's certain spots in the subdivision, and also depends also what's behind the house because if it's just a plane like this, it's not it's scary for you because the wind's just going to be like strong in there, like there's no other buildings in there.
All right, so we'll think about that. Really buy a vacation.
I don't know.
Man, that's
really
scary.
safe. No one's really no place is really safe. It depends on.
True.
I'll tell you, a place is safe is Minnesota. Minnesota doesn't
cold
get
there.
Storms.
Yeah, but it's
freezing cold.
It's cold, and then there's
No
bears
tornadoes.
there.
They don't have winter
There might be polar
storms.
bears. Huh?
They don't have winter storms.
Well, there's maybe
But you're probably gonna
Kansas.
Yeah, you're probably gonna have to
No,
shovel.
there's tornadoes.
Tornadoes.
Yeah. No, there's always something.
Seattle, Washington.
Rain.
Oh, God.
Yeah, rain.
L.A. drought. Oh no.
Yeah. No, LA is fires, right? LA is forest fires, isn't?
LA's forest fires. Wyoming.
Loneliness.
Oh yeah, depression. I'm
New York
sorry.
City.
I'm sorry if
City
you're.
is
No, I have
really
relatives from lives
I
in
don't-
Wyoming. Yeah, it's fun there. I see they're having
Do you
fun.
really?
Yeah, I have. From my father's side, because they live in
There's like 12 people that live in
Colorado and
Wyoming.
then Wyoming. Yeah, I actually seen a reel there. Why it's so crazy. Where like I think Colorado and Wyoming is just next to each other, but the population is like in Colorado. There's just like few people like living in
Yeah.
Wyoming.
My brother worked in Wyoming for a few years. It's so amazing. That
Yeah, I've heard
you
it's
have
like they
family there.
compared it to because they people use metaphors, right? Because here in the Philippines they were saying it's like because there's a city next to Butuan where I live where it's not it's a city but it's not a city, it's not like how you imagine a city, the houses are further apart. I think it was like that years before, I don't know now, but I think that's how they describe Wyoming, like it's like it's like a province. I don't know that's how you
Yeah,
imagine it.
like
Yeah.
a Wild West type of
I feel
deal.
like
Mhm.
it's just like big.
It's expected.
Big amount of land.
I mean, America
Land.
is just it's massive.
Yeah.
Lots of bisons.
Wow. I mean, I just randomly
What
chose
do you call
Wyoming.
them? The animal.
But Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Yeah.
Buffalo. Yeah.
Well, we gotta still think about this. What's the safest place in the world? Like safer from a natural disaster standpoint to like a society. Maybe like England, like London, or like
I heard it
Sweden.
rains. I thought it rains there a lot.
Safest type of. It's got to be somewhere in Europe, like Netherlands, because Netherlands.
I heard like
Denmark.
well, Singapore. I think Singapore is safe for the weather
Singapore is
because
safe. Nothing happens there.
it the typhoons always hit like Philippines first, and then Singapore after. Like
Dude,
'cause
Singapore. I
yeah.
actually love that city too.
Okay,
It's just expensive.
here's a
Yeah.
list. You have Denmark, Norway, Sweden, Finland, Switzerland, New Zealand, and Singapore.
Singapore.
Oh yeah, I got one right. Yeah,
You got that? New Zealand.
It's the
Definitely
only
so.
Asian country.
yeah, and it's
Yeah,
so
Finland.
expensive to live there.
And let's be honest, Norway, Sweden, Finland. Those are the same country, right? I mean, is there any difference?
Very
No,
Nordic.
careful,
What?
careful. Some people might get offended with that.
I'm
no,
sorry,
we're
but
not
can
the
you
same.
tell me?
We're not
Can
the
you-
same, Adam. We're not the same.
Let's get a blank map up, and I would love for you to tell me which one's
where
Norway,
is-
which one's Sweden, and which one's Finland.
Yeah,
All right. Norway, M2M.
With your finger out of
Finland,
Don't point your finger.
I don't know.
What's
I've heard
the-
Finland just for the ads, like capital of.
Finland is Westlife is Finland, right?
West.
I don't. Are they? Probably. Yeah.
So
But if I let you
You
go,
know what?
you know,
the
I will
safest
never.
countries are the most expensive countries to live in.
I guess so.
Probably no coincidence.
Yeah. Because safety
Yeah,
is
because-
number one.
It should be because there's a lot of companies in there, investing in that place because it's safe, and then as a result, it's gonna be more expensive, right? Because
Like,
they make the area expensive. It's like if they develop a piece of land, it gets expensive, right? If they what do you call that?
Data farm?
Gentry, is that it? Gentrify?
Gentrification.
Yeah, that's it, right? Then it becomes more expensive because it's good now. And since it's a safe country, I would imagine like it's gonna be attractive to those like corporations to set up offices there, and then
Yeah.
in turn it gets more expensive.
We should try to gentrify something. How to get rich? I'm sure it's impossible. You know how hard it is to. It's really hard to work in Singapore if you're not sponsored. By
Yeah, and
someone.
even living there, it's hard. 'Cause I don't think you can even own. You can just own condos. I think.
It's a weird setup. Yeah, I don't know enough to tell you, but my brother was talking about how weird it is to like.
I know because he they moved there for work, right? So I think that's why he would need a sponsor because they moved there because of a company needs him in there. So that's why there should be
And
like
the second they
papers
don't need
for
him anymore, he's
you have to
gotta
get you have to get out because it's so. I think they don't because they don't have a lot of land area, right? So there's so
That's true.
but that's why they have like good transportation.
I felt so safe there, man. It's just like the safest. I've never walked around a place and felt like nothing bad was ever gonna happen. I know that.
Yeah.
Bad
How
things
Japan?
happen.
Have you been in Japan? You can feel it feels that way too. Some
Japan,
places.
yeah, but they get storms, right? They get
No, they get
Earthquakes.
earthquakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's scary. Earthquakes.
That's scary. Yeah, that is actually
They're probably
horrifying.
in a top 10 not safest
Most dangerous.
Yeah.
place to live.
So, what's the most dangerous place? Like Afghanistan, maybe?
I mean,
Syria?
weather-wise or
I mean,
in general?
I would count danger in all facets.
I know.
Let's see.
Maybe
Most
some
dangerous
island where
country.
there's pirates. There, dangerous places.
Oh, Somalia or something?
Yeah, where you can
And
go out.
Afghanistan.
Yemen.
Brazil
Yeah,
is
man.
Brazil one of
Sudan.
them?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Afghanistan's number 1.
Sudan.
South Sudan.
South
Afghanistan. Ukraine,
Sudan and South Sudan.
No, but
Yeah.
those are.
Syria.
I would think it's a bit unfair because those are places where there's war, right? So of course it's
Yeah.
unsafe.
True.
So it's not really
maybe
the people's fault. It's because there's war going on. So of course
so if
you're
the
not
war
going to move
ended,
there.
maybe it would change.
Most
What's
dangerous country to live in.
weather?
Yeah.
Philippines.
Philippines is the most dangerous with natural disasters in the world. Oh man,
Oh wow.
not looking too good. Ranked as the highest risk country for natural disasters, frequent and intense disasters. Oh,
Yeah, probably
my God.
typhoons.
Because
I
we're
would say typhoons.
facing
Oh,
the
babe,
Pacific.
I'm sorry for
We're
you.
just
We really
right
shouldn't
there.
retire there, babe.
we're like the wall for
Yeah, for
Oh,
other
the
countries.
Southeast Asia.
Hey, it gets
Southeast
better.
Asia.
Indonesia is number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
It's
they're our
basically the same
neighbor.
thing.
They're
Yeah.
our neighbor. That's why they're number 2.
Same exact thing.
India.
Oh, Mexico, Colombia, and India.
Natural disasters? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chad, Somalia.
Drought from Somalia. Democratic Republic. What?
Democratic Republic of Congo.
Chad.
Oh wow,
Chad.
my
Chad
internet's.
sounds like a good
You can still
guy.
hear me, right? It says
Yeah.
here my internet's Oh, it's back now. I think it's back. Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, Philippines.
It's the Philippines.
That was very
Wow.
shocking.
I thought Japan
No, I think they're
would be
just-
there.
Yeah.
Mm.
Maybe because they're really good at, mitigating those stuff. Their buildings already designed for like heavy earthquakes.
Yeah, they are earthquake proof.
Whereas in the Philippines, I don't think we designed our buildings for typhoons. I don't think we have because the buildings has always been that way. But maybe they do. I just don't know.
They're definitely more prepared. I mean, I feel like Philippines is probably on the less prepared side of things.
I
Yeah.
think it's
But the only reason why there's a hurricane in Florida because they kicked out Dale, right? Because since Dale left
Oh
the
my
country, the
God.
typhoon came in.
It's been nothing but terrible since Dale left.
yeah.
Ever
I mean,
since like
it's been
Dale
awful.
flew out, that's the time. Like that's actually like the hurricane
know.
made
Was
its
it-
landfall. in the country.
I never made that connection till now, but I
Yeah.
think you're onto something.
I made a joke to that to Eileen. Like, because they kicked Dale out, so that's why. Actually, they didn't kick Dale out. Just Dale flew out. That's where the hurricane came in. So when it started, like the winds coming into the country, Dale was already in Korea, I think. So it's-
Mhm.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the coincidence is suspicious. I'll just
Sus.
say
Yeah.
that.
It's very
it's
sus.
sus, right?
yeah,
Super sus. So
yeah.
we're gonna have to
It's
look
like
into
the gods were angry. Like, yeah, we need Dale
No
back
Dale,
here.
No Dale. Here's Helene.
that. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just yeah, it's bad. So I'm glad we covered that. That's one of those things that we could stay on forever.
Yeah.
Goes without saying. We hope everyone stays safe.
But yeah,
There's this. Oh my God! Like we were on the tail of that. We weren't really hit hard.
Yeah,
and it was bad.
Yeah.
it was
like-
scary. Yeah, I was like, oh my God, how much worse can it be? And there's 2 more hurricanes coming right after it too. I think we're just gonna get hit really hard this year.
and Yeah.
and you never know the trajectory it's going to take.
It's
But yeah, because it
always
could
like the
change.
thinking was
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the coastline will be hit, will be the like most affected area. Nobody thought that Asheville, Chimney Rock,
Yeah, the
or
mountains.
like the Tennessee mountain towns.
I would think, oh, I'm on top of a mountain.
Yeah, but it's
Which is
scary.
hard.
The mountains are scary because of the landslide or flooding. That's what's scary for it. Because it happens a lot in Philippines where there's people living like near mountains and then they didn't. Guess the story goes where the government's gonna say, "Hey, you need to evacuate," but the thing is, since there's not a lot of funding, not a lot of funding. Like the evacuation areas are, too crowded. Some people, oh, I'm not. I'm just gonna stay in my house. And then story goes, so when the typhoon comes, since there's flooding, though they get, there's so their house gets part of, it's gonna be like part of a landslide, and then they're in it. So it's just so sad because they get um they get buried like with the landslide, and it's hard to find people. Just it's that it's sad when that's I think happened. I forgot in Cagayan de Oro that there's one big typhoon that hit there, and then the main cause of death is landslide. And then usually if it happens like at night, oh yeah, it's yeah.
There's
Imagine.
houses on the top of that mountain, like the one we went to camp.
Oh yeah, well, I don't know what happened.
Yeah, if there's a storm, I'm getting far away from the mountains.
Well, nobody
you don't want to
really,
get trapped
like it went from
But then you want higher ground.
like state, like it went through like 3 states. Usually, it breaks apart once it hits Florida.
Yeah.
So
Or
nobody
slows
really
down.
thought that
Because
it's
it
going to
gets so
sustain that intensity up until Tennessee.
And the flooding,
Everyone was just, oh, it will weaken after landfall, but did not. It's just very big, very intense and strong hurricane.
And
if it passes through those like big cities, that's always like the most devastating one, because there's a lot of people gonna be affected. That
I think it did not affect it, but I think Atlanta was okay. There was some flooding. Charlotte, same as Rock Hill, there was
but Spartanburg, which is just like pretty
an
close
hour,
to us.
like less than an hour away.
My uncle and his wife still don't have power. Like 2 days later.
Yeah,
But these places are only 2 hours away from here.
Yeah.
But are their houses okay though? Is it fine?
Yeah, just like branches and stuff. Like, we don't have much to complain about. There's people much worse off.
Imagine if it moved a little bit. To the
I know,
right.
I can't, but
Like,
it's human nature to think like, how does it affect me? I just worry about the last time we got devastated. Like was Hurricane Hugo. It was like 1986 or something.
Yeah.
And the same thing that's happening in like we just took down everything.
Yeah.
And it stayed strong through the inland.
Yeah.
I don't know. My parents are building a house on the coast of South Carolina right now. You sort of think like, I hope one doesn't come right up, knock that down, because it's just sticks right now.
I feel so sad for those, people up there.
Yeah, it's just their house. So yeah, it's always hard if it passes like to your area. I think that's what happened to Cebu. Like the eye actually like passed the eye of the storm, like passed through the city.
Really?
And then what's scary if that happens, because like the winds will go like one direction, and it's so strong. So you see trees like going this way, and then it's gonna be like, what they say, if it's in the eye of the storm, it's so calm because the winds are like peaceful. Really? And then once it passes, the wind's gonna go past. It's gonna be like up to the other direction now. So that's where like trees like gets up, removed from the land. It's like you're swinging it both ways, from one direction to the other direction. So that would happen. That's why houses, the roof of houses like that's like we're gonna fly. And then in the Philippines we make jokes about it, right? Because their neighbors have this solar panels, and then now the solar panels are like in our house now because after the typhoon, we make those jokes like the roof. We swap roofs.
If the hurricane keeps or the typhoon keeps hitting you, let's say in the Philippines, like at what point does it not even make sense how often does a storm have to come for you to not want to keep rebuilding?
Mm.
I mean, obviously, if it happens every year, you would have to leave. But is it like 7 years?
No, it's.
Like, what is the sweet spot?
I think what happens is just people just don't build. You're gonna rebuild, but you're not gonna build like big, like tall buildings anymore. I guess I think that's what happens in Siargao, right? Galay.
Mhm.
I think
Yeah.
no one's really gonna make a tall building in there because it's a good surf spot. And then if it's a good surf spot, which means like if there's a typhoon, it's gonna be like the waves are gonna be bigger and then the winds are gonna be stronger. So you're that place is just not gonna be like y- where you see like tall buildings in it. I don't know how to describe like the thing that comes to mind is like an IT park. It's not gonna be an IT park. It's gonna
You
be a
wouldn't
good like
invest a
surf
bunch of
spot
money
though. It's
Yeah.
just gonna be like
You'd just
the
be all
purpose of
wiped
that place
out.
is for
Yeah. But if you just need to evacuate and just like hope nothing happens to it. Just,
Mhm.
if it's not tall, we can go to the roof because the storm surges. You
It's
just
like
have to like, oh man, hopefully it's nothing, nothing serious. And
it's like a real world version of the Big Bad Wolf story, where they knock on your house. Big Bad Wolf blew my house
Mm.
down. It was built out of
Huff and
straw,
puff.
built out of sticks. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the hurricane. It's like this God or whatever, Mother Nature is coming and just saying,
Mhm.
no, I'm going to blow your house down. Start over. And you're just
Yeah.
like, why? Why me?
Not
Why?
good enough.
Yeah. So you're like, do you build a steel house? Do you build a house that's like impenetrable? Or do you move away
Mhm.
and give up on the spot that you love so much?
Yeah.
Like, how much
Yeah.
devastation is enough for you
For
to
you to stop.
lose
So
hope on
let's
it?
see. The very big one in the Philippines was Yolanda, which was 11 years ago.
Mhm.
And before that, I think was another, like, I can remember a typhoon called Ruping. I think it was in like 1990, 1991.
Yeah. 90s.
So
I remember
20
that.
years.
Yeah.
But
You remember that? Maybe? You were 3?
my mom told me. So I
I'm just
remember.
wondering if this is coming from your memory bank. I'm
Yeah.
not sure.
It was so vivid
Okay.
from
I
the
was sitting
It was
there,
my
television.
first
sucking my
memory.
thumb.
It was my first memory.
Yeah.
But
No,
anyway,
that is also like that was the most recent one. Yeah.
and Odette. So
Yeah.
you can't really tell, but it's not like, it could probably happen in a year. You could have 2 or 3 big storms, but
Yeah.
I don't think it happened. I mean, based on what
Mm.
I can remember, that
Yeah.
it's like back to back, in this year and then next year there's a big storm, and then it's just very destructive.
Yeah.
I heard someone say that we should stop naming typhoons like women names because the women name typhoon is always the strongest typhoons like Ruping, Odette.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. It was
You
just
just name it.
Well, there was Pablo was also like,
yeah, also big. It's not that popular, right? The biggest
Yeah.
was always like the
Pablo
women.
was kind of
women
like,
names.
Helene. Yeah.
Yolanda was
Sandy was a bad one up in New York. Katrina was the bad one in
Yeah, Katrina.
New Orleans. Wow, you're onto something, Louis. You're the conspiracy theorist right now.
If it's a women's name, typhoon or hurricane, it's gonna
Yolanda.
be big.
Yeah.
It's very
There's also the
scary.
Dale tracker.
Yeah, Tail
You
Tracker.
track
You
Dale's
should be with
whereabouts and
Dale.
wherever he's left.
Yeah.
God forbid if he ever leaves the Philippines. Evacuate. Evacuate.
Don't name that. Don't name it.
Oh, Hurricane Dale. Dude, I'll
Yeah.
lose my mind if Hurricane Dale comes through.
Hurricane Dale comes in. Yeah.
Could be Hurricane Louis too.
Hurricane.
That would be a friendly hurricane.
I remember I looked this up before because you know that it's called hurricane, right? It's just called hurricane because it's that part of the world is typhoon because it's in southeast. Yeah,
It's
It's,
based
it
on where the ocean
where it's
that it came from,
but
right?
it's the same, right? It's still the same storm. Yeah,
Is it?
Yeah, if it came from the Atlantic.
Yeah.
that's really
You're-
that's
you're
funny,
really gonna
but
get
I don't think we can. Yeah. What if it's in the? I know
You have to cut
I have a lot of the yeah. I have
funny.
to.
That's
No, babe, that's very
It's too easy. You set me up for that.
Oh yeah, you said it. Yeah, Glyza did. Glyza said, "Yup, no."
Talking
He
about the
said
difference
that.
between an Asian storm and an American storm. American
No,
meaning North
No,
America.
it's the
no.
hurricane versus
The hurricane
typhoon.
is
It's
typhoon.
Yeah, I know.
yeah. That's why it's always typhoon in here because it's that
Came
part
from
of
the
the world.
Pacific.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
why?
But
Why is there a different part of the world, different names? I don't get it.
yeah, I don't know how it is to convey. No, wait. I
get
think
why.
it's
I get, like,
the
I don't
direction
get
of the
why.
wind. That is probably like it. Let's say the other one is clockwise and the other one's counterclockwise. I think that's it. That's it.
This is hurricane.
But the main definition is which ocean it was built. Built from.
The
If it's
main
in the
difference
Pacific. Yeah.
between a hurricane and a typhoon is where they occur. Okay.
Yeah, just a
but why
word
are they called
ocean.
different? Why different names? It's not like we call rain different.
They're the same. They're tropical cyclones. It's just
Yeah.
cyclical motion around a low pressure center, high winds, heavy rain, and storm surges. Okay.
There's probably
There's no
more.
reason for the.
More technical. Right.
Well, I regret my joke. I maybe.
I always I always thought it's I always thought that's a good one though. Like is that
Yeah.
no.
I said the
That must
only
stand out.
difference between a hurricane and a typhoon is the location where the storm.
Where's from, right? Should be the
And
same.
I understand. I accept that, but I also wonder why isn't it just called the same thing? If it's literally
Yeah.
the same thing on a different side of the earth, there's nothing else that has different names.
Oh, it's elevator and lift.
Yeah, it's just like
All right.
something.
That's a
like that.
British English.
Don't answer my question with an actual answer.
I should answer.
You need to just accept what I say and say yes. You're exactly right.
Yeah.
No, that's
But I
actually
don't know
good.
what's the technicalities of it. Why they have to name it? If
Yeah,
it's
you-
from
you have
this
to-
hemisphere,
The
it should be
etymology of that. You have to.
it should be hurricane.
like a toilet and a loo.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
It's just a typhoon.
don't overthink it.
I think typhoon's a cooler name. A hurricane's a pretty cool name too. Those are two cool names.
Yeah.
Typhoon, hurricane. Like they accurately describe what they are pretty well. Sounds
Yeah.
pretty scary.
Yeah.
Those names.
Yeah.
Right? Can we agree?
Winds. Yeah.
Properly named natural occurrence.
Sounds
Awesome
scary
names,
though.
actually.
Typhoon.
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 Hurricane.
Hurricane.
There's like sports.
They
teams
use
called-
it for like fighter names that they put that in their names like because it sounds like sounds like scary
Yeah.
like a hurricane. I know is there a team like
So,
team
do you
team?
think Dale
sports
wanted
team
to
like
be a hurricane or a typhoon? Does he want?
Well,
does he want to be?
No, Dale is now a typhoon. He was a hurricane,
Yeah,
but
it's not a
he's crossed
typhoon
over
like
into typhoon territory.
last week. Yeah,
Once he went to
it's now a
Korea.
typhoon.
Typhoon Dale.
Yeah. Yeah, what I keep
course.
remembering those hurricanes and no, it's the typhoon is in Japan. Like when you hear kamikaze, you remember those like suicide pilots, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Or if you're from the
Remember
Philippines,
kamikaze when I
you
was in
a
college.
band. Yeah.
Yeah,
If you're from the Philippines, you hear kamikaze is the band. It's a very famous band, like
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
Narda.
also a drink. It's so good.
yeah, it's a
They're
drink.
good.
Yeah, but
Yeah, because I've tried like reading about it because I heard it in Rogan, like why the Mongolians wasn't able to conquer Japan, and then I think the first answer was because the samurais were so badass they can't conquer it, and apparently it's not really the case because Mongolians were like very big army, very big, very good warriors.
Oh, it's
And then
the,
what- Yeah, so what actually happened is, Kublai Khan, which is like the one of the sons of Genghis Khan. And if you're from the Philippines or if you're from Cebu, if you hear Kublai Khan, first thing comes to mind is like rice bowl, right? It's
It's like it gets me
Mongolian rice bowl.
So you mix all the stuff. It's
It's-
really good. You should
Yeah.
try it.
You should try it. Yeah.
Like guy.
So apparently he's actually a real person. And I think emperor. So what they did is they tried to like conquer Japan, and they did it like a diplomatic way, send a messenger, and then Japan was like, hardcore. They're not like giving up. They're not gonna pay tribute to China. So they sent ships. They sent an army, like a very big army. I think it's like 40,000 people. They sent it to Japan, and then there's like a certain part in Japan where that's the port, and then samurais were like trying to hold off that port. And then apparently there was a very big typhoon that hit that area at the same time. So it washed away the ships. And then I think what's left was like a third of the men from Mongolia, from China. So they retreat. And then after a few years, they still want to conquer Japan. I think just 6 years after, they sent a bigger army, like bigger set of ships. They went to Japan. And then, so they were still in that same area. The samurais were like holding it off. And then another typhoon hit at that time, and it washed away the same, like third of the army, even like 2/3 of the army. So that's where the kamikaze came from. Actually, kamikaze actually meant like divine winds. And then they made, the story was that was protecting Japan. So they gave up, like the Mongolians gave up of like,
Oh wow,
yeah,
that's
because
incredible
there's
story.
two instances of so they call that storms like kamikaze. They say the divine winds. So that's and then they made a story like the emperor of Japan like summoned that wind, those winds, just to protect Japan. So that's where kamikaze came from. And then fast forward to World War II, where kamikaze was and those suicide pilots, right? So I think what happened was the general was calling out his men, and then they use that story like, you're gonna be our divine wind protecting the country. So it's the same thing, like it's like the something storm, like divine protecting the country. So he called out on those pilots, you're gonna be our divine winds. So that's there, you're gonna be our kamikaze. So that's what happened, right? They don't have, they become suicide pilots, and they're like the they use, instead of like um attacking with like missiles, they were attacking with their own like planes, and then like dropping to the aircraft carriers. So that's where kamikaze actually came from. So it's the story of the divine winds, or the storms that were, they say the storms that was protecting Japan, and then they used that story to inspire those um pilots. Although I think it's not just the story that inspired them. I think they're also like heroin. They were like using heroin to
Oh
um
yeah, like opium
so
and
that those
stuff.
pilots can be like uh, be courageous enough to, but that's a different like technicality, but that's like the main story of
They
it. So
did that
that's
with
why
the
when you
Nazis
hear
too. They
It's
put
like
them
the
on
Mad
amphetamines.
Max.
The Nazis would take amphetamines. So
Yeah.
that they would. Yeah.
you're drugged up,
The
yeah.
kama,
So
kamikaze. That brings
kamikaze,
a
yeah,
sort of a poetry to the term kamikaze,
yeah,
rather than just like the dive bomber
yeah. So that's
mental,
where actually, if you look it up, it's actually,
image.
I think it's the 1274 and then 1281. So it's actually like years apart, and then it happened. So happened typhoon hit that same area, and it also devastated. So if you, I mean, if you were living that time, you would even think like, oh yeah, the gods like are protecting us, right? Because,
I mean, when you see
yeah,
it, when you see the storm and you feel the power of Mother Nature, it's hard not to feel like a godly presence,
yeah,
or the absence of a god, however you think of it.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
yeah.
You don't fault them. Like what they do when they saw a rainbow. They're like, oh my god, what a sign from above. I mean, some things are just.
Yeah, and then nowadays, like when you see a rainbow, like, oh my god, like
It's
how's
actually the
Ryan?
light
Like,
particles
yeah,
breaking
I'm scared
apart
to be
in the
like, how's
sky
Ryan
from the
now?
water
Yeah.
molecules. Like, shut up. That's
No.
God. There's some gold at the end of that rainbow. So
Yeah, but a rainbow now is it's a symbol of a community now. It's not even it's not a pot of gold anymore. No.
oh yeah, well the rainbow. Listen. I've already made a racist joke. I'm not going down that road. I'm talking about anything else that is.
Yeah.
No, you're right. We asked Izzy the other day, "What's your favorite color?" And she said, "It's rainbow with a unicorn on top." I was like, "That's not really a color.
Not a color. That's
I like the vibe.
Unicorn on top.
It's incredible. Keep that
That's
energy
it.
up."
yeah. There's always a unicorn and
Yeah, a rainbow with a unicorn on top of it.
corner. Oh, yeah.
But all right. So I mean, I think it was a good podcast. There may be a few things we need to cut out, but
I have to search for. I have to like
You're
look
giving
for.
him a hard time.
no, I don't think.
Yeah.
I think we can keep everything in. But we,
Just-
I'll just apologize to anyone.
I think it was like maybe 15 minutes ago that you said that.
No, I didn't say anything.
no, I can just I can just search for it. Right, that's a good thing with Riverside.
Oh,
I can
no
just
word.
search for the
Okay.
word, and then it's gonna give you the timestamp. I'm just gonna look for the word "I" in there, "I" of a storm, and then should give me that
Or
part of the.
hurricane.
No,
Pacific.
I think it's good stand-up material. That would be. I could
It
start a
is. It
stand-up.
is. It is. It's just if you cut it that specific part only, it's hard to
Well, the more we talk
explain.
about it, everyone who's listening to this is like, "What did he say?" I guess that makes it interesting. They'll have to wonder. But I think we stopped talking about it. Anyway, I think it's great. I think we didn't have much
Yeah,
to talk
stop.
about. Definitely wanted to highlight the crazy couple of days happening over here in the U.S. and
Mm-hmm.
who knows? Maybe we'll get Dale in the next. Oh, so next week we're out of town, but
Mhm.
do week after that.
Yeah, I don't think Dale's gonna make it next week too, because he's probably setting up. Yeah, guys from us from work, we're making a joke like, is Dale's so rich now, and we're making like he's probably just looking for a condo to buy. He's probably like walking inside a building like, how much is one
Yeah.
condo
Yeah.
here? I want to buy one.
And
Yeah,
pay
I'll take
it-
three.
pay it in
I'll take
cash.
three of them.
yeah.
This-
Gonna pay this afternoon. What? Yeah,
He's
this
gotta-
afternoon. Gonna
Yeah,
pay.
here's my,
briefcase
here's my,
with the-
here's my check.
With the
gonna
with
be
the
like-
handcuff and the
Oh.
briefcase.
Yeah, he's just gonna be.
This is my one-time offer.
He's got the black
Yeah.
credit card. Platinum.
Yeah, it's gonna be like, how much is one? It was 4 million. Oh, it's cheap. Wow.
Oh wow, it's on sale, huh?
Hey.
What's going on here?
Yeah, he's gonna look for a
Keep the
condo near
change.
the office.
Keep
Yeah,
the change.
You can have a generator.
Keep.
yeah,
And solar power.
Yeah, solar panel.
yeah.
And
Because I'm gonna ask
generate-
him though.
He's gonna have a backup to the backup.
Backup generator.
Yeah, that too. Because I'm gonna ask him if he's gonna be able to. I know what his setup now. I don't even know where he lives here.
You never know with Dale. It's
Well-
just,
Yeah, I'll never know.
just gonna have to
Yeah,
take what he gives.
yeah,
Give what he takes.
Take what he gives.
Take what he gets.
yeah.
Gets what he takes.
He never gives you anything with like
You get what he gives.
whatever.
You get what he gives. You take what he gives you.
Yeah.
Okay.
You take
Yeah.
what
I don't know why that was so
you take
confusing for.
You're the one confused.
Yeah. It would be so
Take
funny
what
though if he really
gives,
did that.
'cause that's the only thing you can get.
I'll give you something
Yeah.
you can take. You probably won't. Sorry.
Cut that out.
That's
What's
Yeah,
wrong
yeah.
with you?
gonna a lot of like
Blip
pieces
it
to
out.
cut out.
Maybe
Yeah.
blip it out.
Bleep.
That wasn't. Anyway, they'll give us
Yeah.
what you have, and we'll take it.
Yeah, we're gonna take all of it, Dale.
And I'll ask for more, but don't give it to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna check on him. He probably did buy. It would be funny though if that's really true. Like, yeah, what are you up to this weekend, Dale? No, just buying a condo. Simple stuff.
Real estate deals.
Buy it cash on the same day. Just like doing groceries.
Yeah.
What do I
Fully
need?
furnish it.
I just
Yeah.
feel bad for him or sad for him because he was really
Oh, yeah, it was
having
like-
great time with
Having a great time.
his community, like starting to not just stay in his
Yeah,
apartment.
because Eileen said that because the whole thing was, I think it could have been prevented when if he was like really like asking, hey, what's the update? What's the update in this? And then so Eileen made a comment like maybe he really did want to like leave because he didn't really like follow up the processing. And then I said like, no, he's having fun. He's too much fun there, so I don't think he wanted to like leave. Right? He was
Yeah.
he was part of something. He was already part of
Not a cult.
something
He-
special.
Very
He was part of
special.
not a cult already, so he was having fun. He was like
He was not a part of a cult.
he was like
Clearly to say that.
It's just a
interconnected with
community. Yeah.
everyone. Yeah, this community.
Very
So
close knit community.
They all wore the
Community.
same clothes,
yeah,
which was totally not weird.
they all
They are all
worship. Oh no,
exercise
not
together.
worship. Like have to have a better
They
word.
work
They're
out
not
together.
worship. Yeah, they
Their
pray.
leader.
So yeah, they
Yeah, they prayed. to
they-
their
yeah.
leader.
They
they
were
already
meeting.
part of something. So yeah, I know it was just a
That's right.
yeah, but they're working on bringing him back there
He'll
just
be
so
back. He'll be back so
the
fast.
hurricane will stop.
Once Jesus. I mean, the national security, they're gonna need to bring Neil
Yeah.
back for the good of our country. We need you back too, Louis. I
Bring
don't
the
know.
hurricane back.
No, I don't have anything. No. But yeah, I'll let you know if there's anything that
I just
brings
threw
me
it out
back.
there. I wish we could all be in the same place.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah, I miss the Philippines, and I don't know. I miss you guys. Miss me more than anything.
Yeah, we could have a studio set up and then have it better.
Yeah.
We're all in the same room, but this is great. I'm glad we did it today, and thank you for scheduling, Louis.
Yeah.
And hope our listeners will. I don't know if they listen to this. I don't know if Glyza already told you the story, like the people from work already like.
Yeah, well, I should have remembered that because I think I went too hard this episode. But thank you to our new listeners. I mean, we got like 4 more, 5 more.
I think
maybe
so.
15.
4. Yeah. It was just funny because he found out about it from like a short, which actually is that's how you find the short, and then that brings you to the actual pod. And he pinged me like, "Hey, actually looking at YouTube," and then stumbled with, because he said like he saw my face first, and he found like interesting, and then when the clip moved on, he saw it's Dale. I'm talking to Dale, like, "Oh wait, this is Louis and Dale," and that's how he. And then he saw Ryan too in that episode, and like, "Oh, it's Dale, Louis, and Ryan." He knows all 3 of us, and then so that's what he found, and then he shared it to our team, like, "Hey guys, if you're bored, listen to this." And then he saw, and then when you actually make a clip to our channel, like you see a lot of our faces because there's a lot of like clips, and then you see Ryan's face, my face, Glyza's face, and I'm like, "Oh yeah," and then they started listening.
All right, so
I think they watched the Tallahassee one.
Yeah, we should be
the one with Ryan, because
the one with Ryan is our best episode.
Yeah. And we're gonna bring him back. For
I think we're gonna attract more if he's there.
Yeah, he's there. So watch out for our listeners. Watch out. We're gonna have Ryan back. We're just saving so that we can have more stories. Maybe we can have him back like after after the storm, like if because the storm is past now. Maybe afterwards we could ask him like how
was the storm?
How was the storm? Maybe you can use that. Yeah, I bet everyone's like wanted to hear that.
You can never guess what he's gonna say. If I think I know where he's going with something, he'll just like surprise me and make me laugh so hard.
Yeah.
So that's what makes Ryan so great. It's just like he's so off the cuff,
and he knows all the details.
Like it is,
yeah.
So, oh, you know.
So
yeah, we're gonna have him back.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
He's spicy.
Yeah, tell me about it. And he's gonna start rambling about something. Yeah. We're gonna ask him about hurricane. How do you say that? Helene? It's not Helen, right? Because there's an E at the end.
I thought it was Helen, but it's Helene, I think.
I don't know.
Because there's an E at the end, so it should be.
It's a weird one.
Helene.
Hurricane Helene. Yeah. I would say Helene.
Yeah. Someone might have said like, we need another E in there. Where I'm gonna put it? It wouldn't be Helen. Sounds ridiculous. It wouldn't be LEEN. That's not the name. So that's why they made it Helene. They want to put the extra E.
If your name is Helene, comment down below and let us know.
Yeah.
What?
Okay.
Okay, we're just gonna stop talking about hurricanes now because we have to cut it afterwards. No, Adam might say something that we have to cut out.
We gotta admit that was a great joke.
It was. We needed to set it up first, though. Like, did you know like why they call it?
Yeah, you have to set it up. Don't come in like a hurricane.
Then I came in like a wrecking ball.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hurricane, rock me like a hurricane.
Yeah, there's no songs with typhoons. There's always hurricane. Yeah.
Rock me like a typhoon.
It doesn't flow well. Yeah.
Rock me like the typhoon. It's just
yeah, because if it's a typhoon, it should be a different song, right? Like.
Maybe that's it. Maybe that's a reason. Like hurricane and typhoon. Typhoon is more. So
the podcast ended like 10 minutes ago. Yeah, you're just gonna hear like yeah.
Whatever. I was like, what happened? Yeah. What is the ending?
Yeah.
So I just say the power went out.
Thank you, Helene.
Yeah.
Oh my
Helene.
god.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. That was good.
So we did,
man.
yeah. We talk a lot, but started about like money culture, Philippines, and hurricane,
Yeah.
typhoons,
This was kind of
kamikaze.
a.
Yeah.
We talked about some pretty touchy subjects. You know, this was this podcast was subject wise. You know, most dangerous
Yeah.
countries.
I'm curious
Philippines
to
being
hear
broke.
Dale's point of view on that though, or Ryan's. You know, that
Yeah.
culture. Maybe we could bring that up again with them,
Yeah,
with all of
it's
us
a
in
deep
here.
one because you could say
Yeah.
it. You got to be sensitive with people's.
Yeah, like how you say it too.
Yeah. I
I
don't
explain.
think it's a I don't think it's a problematic culture. It's always boils down to relationship and
Mhm.
but
If you have a good relationship, then that's the
Yeah.
basis of everything.
Mhm.
Yeah. So it's all about relationships and bringing Dale back to the US.
Mhm.
That will make everyone
DB. Bring
Yeah.
Dale back.
bring Dale back.
Hashtag
BB.
DB. Or bring back Dale. BBD.
BD. Yeah, double BD. It's gonna
Bring back Dale.
bring
Poor
back Dale.
Dale. Yeah, God, it makes me so angry. I mean, assuming he wanted to stay, maybe he did want to go back, and that's fine.
No, I don't think he
But
wanted
if he
to.
wanted to stay, man, that pisses me off, dude. Just
Yeah,
this
it was
whole
having fun.
immigration stuff is just so annoying.
Mm.
With your
Yeah.
mom too, trying to get her mom over here.
It's hard.
It's insane.
Is he applying as a tourist?
No.
They get denied as tourists.
For
which is-
tourists?
No,
They
my
won't-
mom doesn't
bullshit.
want to do the tourist anymore.
Yeah, well, now it's like-
she doesn't want to do it anymore.
Because
She
you
just wants-
fly like a lot of right, like just a
Yeah.
few.
I mean, I don't know if she wants to stay here long term.
We
Anyway,
went
we gotta
straight
get her
to
here.
went straight to green card.
Mm. She got denied. Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
I gotta use the restroom, Louis.
Let's just like end this now.
Oh yeah, we can.
Yeah.
Say bye.
I gotta go. I've had some stomach issues today. So,
You know, but you survived an hour, almost hour and a half.
Dude,
You know what?
I almost had some.
Yeah.
We're not.